Good evening, I'm Yodit Tewolde, and this is Making the Case. This week's stunning news out of Aurora, Colorado. The police officers and paramedics who killed Elijah McClain were indicted on manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide charges. In 2019, a 23-year-old Elijah was walking home from the local convenience store when he was stopped by 3 officers responding to a 911 call about a suspicious person. The officers forced Elijah to the ground and held him in a chokehold for almost 20 minutes. Elijah repeatedly said he couldn't breathe, crying and calling out for help. The police then called paramedics who injected Elijah with the sedative drug ketamine, causing him to stop breathing. Elijah never regained consciousness and 6 days later died at the hospital. Among Elijah's last words, "I'm just different, that's all." Sunday will mark 2 years since Elijah's death. Yesterday, I had the honor of speaking with Elijah's mother, Sheneen McClain, about her long and hard-fought journey to get to this point. You were told about the indictments a day before they were announced, something you've been praying for years. Now, given how these cases involving police officers usually play out, were you surprised by the news, and has it given you renewed hope?
I definitely was surprised. I didn't, I was praying for a good outcome. I was praying for one that would allow my son's soul to be at peace. Because, we know how it works with the murder victims. Sometimes they're at rest, or they're not at rest. They're a little without peace. They're not able to move on. So I was praying for a good outcome. But when the indictments came down, I was surprised. I was shocked. I didn't expect that level of justice, especially in the state of Colorado. I didn't expect that level of justice.
And it took years of hard work and community outrage just to get to this point. But there was a time soon after Elijah's death when you felt alone in this fight, that no one cared about your son, about his unjustified killing, that Colorado was quiet. In such a state of loneliness, Sheneen, what gave you the strength to keep going?
My kids, if I've been a single mom my whole life, their whole life, and even though it was quiet, I still knew that there was a part of me that wouldn't be still. I couldn't just go quiet until the night. I still had to do something. So even before Colorado woke up to what happened to my son, I was still driving around with 911 as a joke. 911 killed my son. 911 is a joke on my vehicles. And it's still there. And I don't believe I'll be removing that at all. But even when there was people standing beside me, I was still lonely because I wasn't positive or sure if those individuals had the right intentions. There's a lot of things that happened from those that came out to support me or, in their own way. So it was still lonely. Even right now, I'm still lonely without my son, but, I'll get through it.
You said that you were proud of Elijah in life and that you were proud of him in death. What did you mean by that, proud of him in death?
Wow. The way he handled himself, when the police officers, the firefighters, and the paramedics were surrounding him, at some point in time, I know my son knew that he wasn't going to make it out of there alive. And I was just so proud of him with how he handled himself. He carried himself as such a distinguished young man. He is the epitome of what we all one day wish to be in the face of such darkness. He still gave love to those who were so dark to him, and I believe that that's what we all strive to be, to share that amount of kindness to those who hate us so much. The Bible says, forgive and pray for your enemies. And in that moment, he did both.
Sheneen, when we talk about these cases involving police officers, we give so much of the attention to the officers and the legal process, both of which are important, but we forget the human being at heart in these cases. And I want to bring forth the humanity of Elijah. So even though we've never had the honor of meeting Elijah, it really does feel as though his decency, his kindness, his gentleness just radiates through every picture we see. And my God, the way that people spoke about him, it seemed like he left a profound impact on practically everyone he encountered. Tell me, what was your fondest memories of your son?
wow. Okay, so when he was little, he did not want to get out of the stroller. Before he started walking, he refused to walk. He was going to do it on his own time, no matter how many times I tried to get him to walk. He stayed in the stroller, so I would just push him around, and he had his own mind about it. I remember he loved suckers. I used to give him suckers to just keep him calm, and he always had a fit anytime it was not a blue sucker. He loved, our favorite color is blue, both of us. So the fact that even then, as a baby, his favorite color was still blue. So he would always throw a fit when he wasn't able to have a blue sucker. So I just made sure I kept all the blue suckers for him and gave the other colors to my other children. He used to, when he became a massage therapist, he would walk in his hands all over the place. He was so happy with the fact that he was no longer asthmatic, because he was asthmatic as a child. He was always in and out of the hospitals, the emergency rooms, because of having asthma attacks. And once he became a massage therapist, he was able to heal his own body so that he wouldn't have such bad respiratory issues. And he'd climb on trees. He loved climbing on trees. I used to call him Tarzan sometimes. And walking on his hands. He just loved doing everything where it came down to showing how much his body had accepted itself.
I know that Elijah wanted to change the world, and in many ways he already has, but how did he want to do it?
He wanted to travel the world as a massage therapist on cruise ships. He wanted to gain enough knowledge with his massage therapy. He was helping so many people out here in Colorado. There were so many positive things that strangers would tell me about him, and how much he helped them. So once he had got up enough money, he actually wanted to live on a cruise ship and just help people while he traveled the world on a cruise ship. And I was like, son, I would like it for you to stay in Colorado so we can stay close. And he's like, no, Mom, I gotta go. I was like, okay.
What about his love of music? I know that he taught himself the violin.
He did. I believe he actually started with the guitar, because our stepdad does the bass guitar, and I tried to get him on the piano. That wasn't successful. He didn't like the piano too much, so he actually taught himself how to do that one big guitar. Was it the oboe? And a few other string instruments he was working on, but the violin was the one that he stayed with, and he would just listen for hours how other artists would play, how other musicians would play, and he just took it upon himself to learn that art steadily. But he did it on his days off. Like if he wasn't playing the game, because he has a PlayStation, if he wasn't playing the PlayStation, if he wasn't at work, he was running or playing the violin. And he got so good at it where we would just sit there and be like, wow, he was so, I tell all of my kids that they're prodigies to me, because they are so smart in their own way. And Elijah just took it upon himself to learn everything. Knowledge is power, and he loved knowledge.
I mean, listen, Sheneen, I played the violin from the 7th grade to the 8th grade, and I had an instructor, and I could not get it down. I wasn't very good. So for Elijah to teach himself and actually be good at it is remarkable. And I was told that he actually played down at an animal shelter. Is that right?
Yeah, he did. I think it was Petco. I believe it was Petco, not PetSmart. But it was, I believe, 3 doors down from the unit he was working at the Massage Envy location. So on his lunch breaks, from what his coworker said, he would go over there and he would play the violins for kittens that hadn't been adopted yet. He started, one of his first jobs was working at a PetSmart, so he fell in love with animals way before doing massage therapy. But the fact that he was able to go so close to another location and give comfort to animals, it was nice. It was really nice.
Now, you've been a powerful force, working tirelessly for years, fighting for answers and police reform in Colorado, testifying before state lawmakers. You wanted the world to know who Elijah was. What do you want Elijah's legacy to be?
Elijah believed in humanity. He believed in our humanity as a people. You know, one of the things that he dedicated himself to was learning a different language. You know, he was learning Gaelic, I believe, from Ireland, and he was learning Spanish. He was teaching himself all these things, but he wanted to enrich himself so that he would be able to understand others better. And you know, the fact that he gave so much love and support while giving humanity to those that murdered him definitely shows that he is, to me, he's an ascended master. You know, now he's in the spirit world, but he's one of those people that we strive to be. He's a guru. He's a yogi. You know, he's all that we. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why he was possibly targeted, is because he was that different. You know, he didn't just want to hang out on the corners. He didn't just want to go to parties all the time. He didn't just want to get high and get drunk and have a bunch of friends. He actually wanted to better himself. So, you know, how we treat each other, the kindness and the love and the empathy that we share each other is Elijah's legacy. The fact that he gave so much to people, even when he didn't know them. I ran into someone that told me, and she was homeless at the time. I don't know if she still is, but she told me she didn't know Elijah was my son. While he was running, he had gave her some water. He had went to the store and brought her back some water. And you know, it's little things like that he would do. He was just a kind individual. He was a loving individual. He was very empathetic to other people's issues, and he gave back the best way he could.
Is that what he meant when he says, "I'm different, that's all"?
Yeah, he what he meant when he said that was, at first he didn't understand why they had stopped him. You know, he was taking his earphones out, trying to understand why they were talking to him. And then when he realized they were talking to him, I believe he was in shock, where he was like, well, I'm just going home. Y'all have no right to do this to me, you know. But when he said, I'm just different, that means I'm not the stereotype. There's no reason for you to be aggressing me like this, you know. I'm just different. So to me, it actually seemed like they wanted him to be an angry young black man. They wanted him. They did everything they could to push their own narrative on him, and he still kept himself intact. You know, on the video, he's describing himself. You know, they're beating him up, they're torturing him, they're brutalizing him, but he's describing himself. He's talking about his moon sign. You know, he's basically saying it out loud, who he is, because at some point in time he knew he wasn't going to make it. Every day to him was a strive to be better, to change himself in the ultimate way. You know, some of our conversations, it's like, well, why do you want to do that? Because that's the old me, this is the new me. So he was always striving to better himself, and he just, you know, other people accepting that difference was hard.
Yeah, and that's why you say that you were not only proud of him in life, but proud of him in death as well. Well, I'm sure, Sheneen, that Elijah would be so proud of you, and I'm sure he's beaming with pride at all of the work that you are doing and continue to do. And thank you so very much again for giving your time to the show. It was such an honor to have you on, and hopefully we'll have you back.
Thank you so much for having me. I apologize, I'm long-winded.
No. Listen, I loved it. I enjoyed it, and I hope that you can come back, because we're definitely going to be looking at this case closely, and we definitely want to provide the people updates and just really keep Elijah's name and legacy alive. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.